In this lesson we will learn what is a vector in Java. With that we will also see some examples. Let us start. Vectors are growable arrays and it is different from arrays. Arrays once created cannot be modified, but vectors can include more elements because they are growable. It is a Java class, and to use it you need to import java.util.vector or java.util.star. Okay. Once you set the size of an array you cannot change it, but vectors work like dynamic array, so vectors are growable. So you can always compare vectors with array list. Vector is slower than array list. Vectors are generally considered outdated, but use vectors if you need a thread-safe dynamic array without external synchronization. Let us see how we can create a vector in Java. To create a vector you can use the following two ways. The first one is recommended. In the first one you use generics. It means that the data type is visible. In the example where you can see string, it means we will only store string objects. The type safety is enforced at compile time. For example, if you try to add an integer in this string vector, the compiler will throw an error. We have a second way also, which is not generally recommended. In this the data type is not visible, so this is a raw type. Here I have also shown an example, vector v is equal to new vector. Okay, in this the type safety is not enforced at compile time. So since the type is not visible, you could accidentally mix types. So this is generally avoided. In our example, we will use the first method of declaring and creating vectors. Now let us see an example of vectors in Java. Here we will understand some of the built-in methods of vectors in which we will add an element, get the size of the elements. We will also play around with indexes, that is to insert an element at a specific index, to remove an element from a given index, and others. Let us start. So here is our VS Code. We already created Amit Java project. Okay, here it is, and we added our files. So this is our vector example. I told you to use vector, you can either use import java.util, or if you want to add all of them you can just use star. But I will directly mention the vector class. Okay, so this is our class definition. This is the main function where the execution begins. So here we are creating a string vector. I already told you that we'll be using the first method, and after creating it, what I did, I just got the size of this vector. This is an empty vector because we did not mention the size. After that we created another vector in which we mentioned the size. So let us first see the output of these two. Run. Here the size of both of them is 0. Why? Because we did not add any elements in this. Okay, when we'll add the element, the size will be shown accordingly. But we have a space for 10 elements now. But since vectors are growable, we can add more elements also. So I have added 11 elements here. The size is 10, but I have added 11 and there will be no error. So we are displaying the vectors here and the size of the vectors now. So let us see the output again. Here is the output. All the elements are visible and now the size of the vector is 11. Okay. This 11 is coming from here. It is 11, but we have set 10 here. That means vectors are growable arrays. After that we are using a for loop so that we can display the elements. Okay, so here we are finding elements at index 0, 1, 2, and we are printing using the ElementAt method. This will print each and every element at a specific index. So what will happen when the for loop will begin? So the for loop is from I is equal to 0 to subject.size, that is it was 11. One by one it will take the value of I and print at index, that is elements at index 0 will be PHP, that is the following. And to add the elements we have used the addElement method. So at first PHP will get printed, similarly loop will go on, then maths, Java, English, and and rest of them will go on till index 10, that is position 11. What we are doing after that, we are fetching a specific element using an index. So using the ElementAt method, it will fetch the element at fifth index. What is the element at fifth index? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is, it will print IT. So for this, it printed IT. After that, we are inserting an element at a specific index. So we are inserting GenAI at index 2, and there won't be any error because vectors are growable arrays. Now we are printing the updated vector. So what is the updated vector here? At index 2 we added GenAI. So now GenAI will be here and rest of them will go after that. That is Java, English till index 11. Since we added one more element, now the size of our vector is 12. We are printing the size here again. The size is now 12. Now we will find a specific element using the contains method. Does your vector has subject algorithm? It will check. The element you want to check comes here. Okay, so if the value is there, the output will be true. It is true. Does your vector have subject algorithms? Yes. Here it is. So it is showing true. Now we are removing elements at a specific location, that is at index 2, 5, 7 and 8 using the removeElementAt. So after that we are printing the vector again using ElementAt, and the loop is from 0 to the subjects.size. Since we removed 4 elements, now the size will be 8. Here all these elements removed. Now the size of the vector is 8. So in this way we can work with vectors. We saw some built-in methods. After running, the class file also generated. Thank you for watching.